Hi. Whenever we go out to South Africa to visit my family, my parents place a little pile of books above our bed, things they've read that they particularly enjoyed and think that we might too. Last time I was there, I read one called Eggs to Lay, Chickens to Hatch by Chris van Wyk. He's reminiscing about his childhood, and I'd like to share one of the incidents. His parents are out at work, and they store all the things that they don't want the children to get into on top of a wardrobe in their bedroom. He likes to go scratching up there from time to time, and as he's putting something back, he finds a new treasure. Then I saw the Holy Bible. It lay hidden under a layer of dust, not a thick enough layer to hide it or hide the words embossed on its cover. I blew off the dust, coughed, slid off the wardrobe once more and began to examine this Bible. It wasn't the one we took to church. This one had covers of bright red leather. It had a zip running down its 3 sides. You could unzip it, read a verse or two and zip it up again. Whose Bible was this? I found the answer on the blank page opposite the cover where the owner had written, Thelma Peterson. Her address, Johannesburg, South Africa, Africa, the world. Thelma had done this to make sure that if ever her treasured Bible was lost, it would be brought back to her by some good Samaritan. But poor Thelma. Here was her Bible hardly 6 kilometers away, and no one was bothering to return it to her. I put it back on the wardrobe, but that, sadly, was not the end of the story of the Bible. A week later, me and the guys are walking home from school, kicking stones and talking nonsense. There's Rathead, Hippie, Crowbar, and Marlin. Marlin has to learn a Bible verse, John 3, verse 16, for orals the next day. He says he knows it already and recites it for us all to hear. For God so loved the world that he gave his only forgotten Son. No, I stop him right here. What's wrong, Marlin asks. It's wrong. What's wrong? It's not forgotten Son, it's begotten Son. He looks at me as if I'm mad or something. Then he gives me that shove on the chest that your friends give you when they're a bit annoyed with you. How much better, I challenge him. I'll give you 2 comics if you're right, he says. We clinch palms and Rathead chops our hands apart to officially seal the bet. We get to our house and I tell him to stop right there by the gate while I go inside to fetch the Bible. Only I can't find our family Bible. Then I remember the other one. I get it off the wardrobe and rush out the door, unzipping it as I go. "Ooh, nice Bible," says Marlin as I flick to John in the New Testament and show him begotten. I wait for him to call it a misprint or something because that's how Marlin is. But he gives me a slap on the back and shakes my hand. He says, "I owe you 2 comics. Yeah. Later, I'm getting ready to go out and play when Marlin pitches up with a really good pile of comics under his arms. "I owe you 2, he says. Choose." It's hard to choose only 2 when there are so many. I choose a Superman and a Spider-Man that looks almost brand new. For the rest, Marlin wants to know if I have any to swap. But I don't. In the meantime, he has become distracted by the red Bible that is lying on the dining room table. He unzips and zips it again, remarking how awesome it is. "Really, really awesome," he says. I watch my friend admiring the Bible and a plan begins to form in my head. "You like that Bible?" He says he likes it very much. "I'll swap you all those comics for it. There must be about 25 in the pile." He looks at me and says, "You serious?" "I am," I nod. "We don't really use that one." He marches out of our home hastily before I change my mind, leaving me with Archie, Superman, the Fantastic Four, Spider-Man. No homework today. When Ma gets home, I throw her a quick glance and say, "Hello, Ma," and it's back to Superman, Archie, and Mickey Mouse. Ma keeps having to say, "Put that down and go to the shop for me," or "Leave that now and go throw these peels in the dustbin." But otherwise, Ma's happy to be left to her own thoughts in her cooking. Ma finishes the cooking. Dad comes home. After supper, the routine changes. Instead of listening to the radio in the lounge, Ma and Dad go and lie down on their bed with a handful of comics each. I hear them chuckling away at the stupidity of Sad Sack, Mickey Mouse, and Donald Duck. But somehow, somewhere between Sad Sack and Bugs Bunny, Ma realizes that I have much more than my usual fare of comics. She must have got that light bulb in a speech bubble above her head that comic book characters get when they get a bright idea. "Where did you get these?" she asks. I never thought this would come up, the ins and outs of comic swapping. I didn't have any comics to give him. So then, what did you give him? You know that Bible that was on Ma's wardrobe? I try not to look at the stupid wardrobe as I say this. The Bible. You swapped the Bible? I nod and lick my lips. Right now I could do with a glass of cold water. Dad sits bolt upright. He doesn't say anything, but I can see a thought bubble poised above his head too, about to explode into 4-letter words. Ma and Dad exchange looks and she says, "Can you believe this, child?" Dad says, "What Bible?" Ma says, "The zip-up one." She's irritated with him because while she's into anger phase, he's still lagging behind at confused phase. "The red zip-up one?" "Yes, Nick. What other zip-up one is there?" "Jesus Christ," says Dad, quoting from the New Testament. "What the hell did you go and do that for?" "What did you want on my wardrobe in the first place?" Questions are flying at me and I don't know who to answer, but it doesn't matter because I don't know what to say. But that night, as I lie in bed feeling sorry for myself, I know that I actually do have something to say. But if I had said it, well, that would have been the end of me, that's for sure. Lying in my bed with the advantage of stillness and darkness, I work out my response and it goes like this. "I have been your son for many years, and for all of that time we've had a Bible in the house. But not once have I seen you open it and read it. But I bring a few dozen comics into the house and you lie in your bed as if you're on holiday, reading them and laughing out loud. And then I fall asleep." What are you doing with your Bible?